The devastating news that the two cousins were shot to death early this morning. Police say when they arrived on scene around 4:30, they found two men suffering from gunshot wounds. Both men pronounced dead at the scene. Families of the two men began to show up this afternoon after they hadn't seen or heard from their loved ones all morning. Brandon Brown says he was hoping for the best but preparing for the worst when he saw some Facebook chatter that his cousin DeAndre Mitchell may have been shot near 28th and Spencer.
And he hasn't showed up and came home, or no one's heard from him. So I came down here on my break to see, because somebody seen on Facebook that somebody seen his car. So, I mean, I know his car more than anybody because I see him. So I came down here to see for myself, and that's his car.
Brown was right. Police say that DeAndre Mitchell and Lafayette Antonio Reed are the city's latest homicide victims. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we tell you why the family is baffled, why their loved ones were even down here last night. Reporting live near 28th and Spencer, Emily Zink, KMTV Action 3 News.
Council Bluffs police are searching for 3 suspects in a rough burglary last night. Officers were called to an apartment building near 8th and Park Wild just after 9. The victims, 2 men, told officers that someone knocked on the door, then opened and attacked them, while another person fired a shotgun in the hallway. The attackers demanded money and took off. Police are searching for 3 men in connection to the crime. Anthony Garcia, the man known as the accused Creighton killer, was back in court today. Garcia is charged with the 2008 murders of Thomas Hunter and Shirley Sherman and the 2013 murders of Roger and Mary Brumback. Today, forensics analyst Tom Bevel took the stand for the prosecution. Bevel testified all victims had a connection to the Creighton Pathology Department. There was no forced entry. The victims were killed in a similar way, and the killer took the murder weapons from the victims' homes. Defense attorney Allison Mata argues the cases are not connected.
The jury has to look at these two things separate because they are separate. I don't believe that there's a Creighton connection.
Garcia's attorneys got Bevel to admit he couldn't be certain a knife used to kill the Brumbacks was taken from the home, and the room in the Hunter home had been ransacked. Reporter Jacob Zakowski is in the courtroom and will have the latest tonight at 5. It was a rough night for an Omaha officer on patrol. Take a look at this picture posted to OPD's Twitter page. Around 1 this morning, a police cruiser and semi collided. The cruiser was totaled, but the driver of the semi and the officer are okay. A broken water main caused a mess overnight in downtown Omaha. The main broke just after midnight near 17th and Jackson. Water gushed over the street, as you can see right there, running into the basement of the Douglas County Criminal Justice Center. It's not clear what caused the line to rupture. The search for the state's next chief medical officer is on hold after state senators failed to confirm Governor Ricketts' appointee. Dr. Joseph Asierno fell 3 votes short of the minimum needed. Governor Dave Heineman appointed him in 2013. Governor Ricketts reappointed him in December. Lawmakers who worked with Asierno say he has not cooperated with them in the past. Beards are big in both size and popularity, but this next story may have men rethinking their love affair with their facial hair. Now, those bushy beards are apparently a hotbed for bacteria. This is just gross. A lab in New Mexico swabbed the beards of a handful of random participants, and yep, what they found was pretty gross.
Those are the types of things that you'd find in
poop? Yeah, the samples contain bacteria normally found in feces. To put it in perspective, if a city was to find samples like these in their water system, they'd have to shut it down and disinfect. So a thorough cleaning of your beard might be in order today. Well, after decades of making us laugh, David Letterman is wrapping up his opening monologues and top 10 lists, but not before the entertainment community bids Letterman farewell. Deborah Tuff takes a look back at the careers he impacted right here in Omaha.
David Letterman, the man whose name became synonymous with late night comedy, leaves a legacy that won't be forgotten. The music, the band that plays it, the announcer's booming voice, and the man who brings everything together.
Top 10 signs your Apple Watch is a fake, number 10.
His quirky approach,
Thanks to the camera.
his attentive audiences, and his scene-stealing guests.
And Joaquin, I'm sorry you couldn't be here tonight.
Since then, Letterman's approach has been far-reaching.
Spent the first part of my radio career pretty much ripping off Letterman bits. Yeah. So he was an influence on me.
Yeah, Todd's a hack.
Not vice versa. Yeah, I still am.
He's a complete hack.
The funny part about the whole
Mike Tyler and Todd Brandt of the Todd and Tyler radio empire say Letterman's influence impacted their early careers.
In fact, one of my first jobs in radio, the program director said something like, we want you to be more Letterman-esque.
Watching David made me realize, man, I could release the anger through my comedy.
Ralph Harris drops in sometimes to make folks laugh at the Funny Bone. He's been on Jay Leno twice, but never The Late Show.
David Letterman was a risk taker.
Hi, kids.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Former intern and Omaha native Stephanie Purcell took a risk when she moved to New York, unpaid, as a Letterman intern. She never met Letterman, only got to talk to him in the skit.
Massachusetts?
Nebraska.
Nebraska. Well, here we go.
But I met him over the camera once. They were doing a gimmick where they had 3 of us interns come out and parallel park.
Here's Johnny Beaner.
For comedian Johnny Beaner, Letterman means a lot to him.
It's like, oh my gosh, David Letterman thinks I'm good enough.
And like Beaner, Letterman's lived out his dream of 33 years on television.
And it was a pleasure to get to be a part of his world.
You gave a lot, and you helped a lot of guys. You helped a lot of comedians, and for that, I thank you.
We thank you. Thank you for giving me my break, and thank you for all the years of entertainment.
A lot of copiers, a lot of pretenders. Some people had better ratings once in a while, but it didn't matter. He was the best.
Get in on the conversation with the hashtag. Thanks, Dave. You've just watched Letterman's Legacy, and I'm Deborah Tuff.
He's definitely a household name. Well, everyone knows the bride is supposed to steal the show on her wedding day, but one blushing bride took a backseat to a spectacle on the beach. Their interesting wedding crasher. And Lindsay Thies is at Bench, Omaha today. Lindsay?
Well, and look, in the short amount of time, I built a table. Okay, just kidding. But I'm going to tell you the story about how this awesome woodworking co-op was built over just a few years, and how, if you're interested, you can take classes here. That's after the break on Upfront at 4.
Tonight on KMTV, NCIS New Orleans, Person of Interest. Then stay for Action 3 News live at 10. Become a fan of Action 3 News on Facebook and join the conversation.
Hi, I'm Mary Nelson for Rockbrook Camera. If you're looking for a new digital camera, this is the best place to come.
Sony's a6000 has DSLR quality in half the size and weight. It shoots HD video or 24-megapixel stills at up to 11 pictures per second. All Sony cameras are on sale with bundled deals that include our free photography class, a camera bag, tripod, photography class, or beautiful wall art. All make for great Mother's Day or graduation gifts.
Rockbrook Camera. Great photography begins here.
Man, your game's really off.
Man, my car got sideswiped and my shoulder's killing me.
What have you done about it?
Well, I made a doctor's appointment. My car's in the shop.
I mean about your legal rights.
Well, I just assumed that...
Don't assume. You need to call Legal Options and speak to one of their experts.
Legal Options?
And you need to do it right now.
Remember, you've got options. Call Legal Options at 1-800-777-7774 now.
Come on, honey, let's go.
I don't mean right now. I'm balling at 250.
Just when you thought you had the best, there's better. The new Hustler Raptor. Heavy-duty welded steel deck. Professional-grade cut quality. Premium Kawasaki power. All from just $27.99. This changes everything.
Dennis! Time to put your toys away.
The new Raptor series from Hustler. Tools, not toys.
Thank you for being a sailor and my daddy. Thank you, Mom, for protecting my future.
Thank you for being my hero and my dad.
Military families are thankful for many things. The legacy of USAA Auto Insurance could be one of them. Our world-class service earned USAA the top spot in a study of the most recommended large companies in America. If you're current or former military or their family, see if you're eligible to get an auto insurance quote.
Thanks for making the switch to KMTV Action 3 News.
Whether it's working on one project or building a business, one Omaha man has built a community workshop space for all kinds of artists and woodworkers. Lindsay Thies is live at Bench in North Downtown today. And Lindsay, what are you sawing right now?
Well, you know, I was joking with them when I said I wanted to build something, and they actually put me to work, Jen and Jim. So that's what I get for offering to help. I have to be honest, I never took wood shop in school or anything like this, so this was quite the adventure for us here today. But the thing that's really cool is if you are interested in starting your own Etsy shop, or if you want to start a business, or you just want to try to do something for fun, check out how one man made this hobby and a business into something so much more. A little off the beaten path.
Call this one the Jorgen armchair.
In North Downtown.
Probably my favorite chair design.
Beads of sweat beat down Ben Peterson's head.
I had my first wood shop when I was 12.
As he beats his chisel, detailing his handmade chairs. But this isn't the only thing this woodsmith has built. It started a few years ago.
My garage got too small for the types of jobs we were taking on, and
he designed a dream, plans for a co-op of sorts.
Something where we could all share the workshop, share the workspace, share some of the tools.
3 years later, as the saying goes, if you build it, they will come. Nearly a dozen small business owners set up shop. Woodworkers, a jewelry maker.
We've got a little metalworking shop back in the back corner there.
Ceramic sculptor, even a coffee roaster.
It's more diverse than I really expected.
Makers pay memberships, but then also get to sell their stuff and teach classes, sharing knowledge and tools. Peterson says he's never worried his expensive tools will get stolen.
At some point you have to trust people somewhat, so.
Offering a fix to small business owners. Built by this Mr. Fix-It from the ground up.
I like seeing skilled people work and do their jobs and do what they love.
I'm back out here live with Kyle. I have to give you props because you are actually the one who has been hard at work for quite a while making this beautiful table. How long does something like that take?
That particular table, I would say a couple days maybe.
Couple days.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, what other kind of different pieces of furniture or things are you guys making here?
We have a lot of tables coming up for restaurants and stuff like that. Before that, we did a couple stools, or about 4 stools for just a client for his house. And yeah, right now it's just honestly a bunch of tables for a lot of local restaurants.
It's table season. Well, they also have class guys, so you know, if you're thinking about maybe something different for Mother's Day, a table making class, ceramics making class, how about coming down to Bench? Jen, Jim, we're going to send it back to you.
Good ideas. Thanks, Lindsay. Very